The cockroach is a vile creature. It invades homes and lurks in the shadows like a secret, silent stalker. We see them from the corners of our eyes in that hazy instant when dark turns to light, and then they're gone. They're basically the insect version of ghosts haunting us. But what happens when the cockroach becomes the protagonist for an adventure game? Well, you're left with Bad Mojo, an obscure gem from Pulse Entertainment that will have you scurrying around San Francisco as a metamorphosized Roger Sams. You see, Roger was about to do something bad. Unfortunately, he can't remember what it was because he has been transformed into a cockroach. In this Kafkaesque graphic adventure game, you must help Roger traverse through the walls of a rundown San Fran bar trying to restore his memory and his human form while avoiding spiders, a roach-eating cat, and other creatures that inhabit this dreary watering hole. Like many adventure games of the 90s, no obvious objectives are presented at first, so as you begin to explore, you'll quickly learn that the world humans take for granted presents some serious survival and transportational challenges for a small bug. The entire game becomes a giant obstacle course of household elements. What was once familiar and insignificant is now awesome and insurmountable, and that's the unique design and clever challenge of Bad Mojo. Each room contains multiple dilemmas, but scattered about are symbols which trigger helpful clues. The game has very few conventional puzzles, opting for more organic difficulties instead. Whether it's navigating makeshift bridges through deadly insect traps, wandering across a stovetop maze while boiling chili splatters the available paths around you, or creating a safe passage through gusting vents, there's plenty to keep a roach busy. The challenges are not particularly difficult, but require care and observation when navigating. And yes, there are several illogical adventure puzzles, but nothing too frustrating. Progression through the game is largely linear, as courses are typically dictated by boundaries of spilled liquids, poisons, and basic architecture. Credit goes to the developers, however, for making these borders feel so natural. Full motion video sequences are your reward for finishing a room, providing you with much needed human drama. It soon becomes clear that Roger's transformation has a higher purpose, one of redemption and reconciliation, adding a very personal dimension to an otherwise surreal experience. Each sequence is coated with a nice film of B-movie acting and dialogue, giving it some amazing charm. Bad Mojo captures the filthy underbelly of a seedy dive. You can practically feel the rust flaking off the furnace, or the smell of stale cigarette butts in the ashtray. The environments are intricately detailed, and the imagery throughout contains inherently disturbing images. Squirming maggots, larvae, fish guts, rat carcasses, and blood trails. Everything you need for a sinister horror atmosphere. You'd be hard-pressed to find a less likely source for an adventure, but the radical premise, innovative approach, and deep richness really helped to make Bad Mojo such a creative, compelling title. Forget what Sierra and LucasArts taught you about adventure games, and play this game on its own terms, and you'll be rewarded with one of the few truly unique gameplay experiences this genre has to offer. It'll creep into your mind and crawl into your imagination, and establish itself as a truly memorable adventure.